Sally and Audra figure out their next step. From Jack's tricks to Victor's advice and Nikki's surprising news, here's what's happening on The Young and the Restless the week of September 22nd, 2025. Monday, September 22nd, 2025, episode number 13215. Billy makes a shocking threat. Will he get what he wants? Kane reconnects with Tracy. How will it go when they see each other? Tessa opens up about Daniel. Is she having feelings for him? Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025, episode number 13216. Sally and Audra plot their next move. Will their plan come off? Claire receives an intriguing invitation. Will she accept it? Victor gives Kyle unsolicited advice. Will he take it? Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, episode number 13217. Jack and Diane reign in Billy. Will he listen to his parents? Lauren stands her ground with Michael. Will he give in? Audra pushes Kyle's buttons. Will she get the reaction she is going for? Thursday, September 25th, 2025, episode number 13218. Victor makes Kane an offer that is hard to refuse. Will Kane be able to resist? Jack has a trick up his sleeve. Will it get him what he wants? Billy forces Sally to make a tough decision. What will she decide? Friday, September 26th, 2025, episode number 13219. Victor considers calling a truce with Jack. Will he go through with it? Kane ends an alliance. Who is he severing ties with? Nikki receives surprising news. What does she find out? The Young and the Restless revolves around rivalries, romances, hopes, and fears of the residents of the fictional Midwestern metropolis, Genoa City. The lives of a wide variety of characters mingle through the generations, dominated by the Newman, Abbott, Baldwin, and Winters families. When it premiered in 1973, it revolutionized the daytime drama, and over 50 seasons later continues to set the standard with strong characters, socially conscious storylines, romance, and sensuality. The Young and the Restless airs weekdays on CBS, and you can catch up anytime on Paramount+. Broadcast schedules are determined by each network and may be subject to change without notice. Episodes of The Young and the Restless can be delayed or preempted due to breaking news, sports coverage, or special programming. For the most up-to-date information, check your local listings. Spoilers for The Young and the Restless September 22nd to 26th episodes are here. As per usual, the show is set to bring forth some high-stakes drama. So, what do the residents of Genoa City have to offer viewers? Here's all you need to know about this week's drama on the show. The Young and the Restless spoilers preview for what happens this week. Monday, September 22nd. Billy spirals further and makes a threat that he may or may not be able to follow through with. Kane reunites with Tracy more than a decade after last seeing her. Meanwhile, Tessa opens up to Daniel, but it remains to be seen if he returns the same gesture. Tuesday, September 23rd. Sally and Audra, though down, are far from giving up. They're plotting their next moves. Holden sends Claire a seemingly interesting invitation, which could shift their relationship towards something serious. Victoria gives Kyle advice, even though he never asked for it. But considering that he never does, this one is necessary. Meanwhile, Billy returns first, and it's going to be Adam's turn this time. Wednesday, September 24th. Jack and Diane work together to rein in Billy, though their task feels difficult. Lauren stands firm with Michael, refusing to back down. Audra also stirs the pot by pushing Kyle's buttons, likely creating more drama for her ex. Thursday, September 25th. Victor makes Kane a very tempting offer, but also demands an answer immediately. Jack reveals his new plan, and fans will have to wait to see how successful it is. Meanwhile, Billy forces Sally into a difficult position, trying to manipulate her into making the wrong choice. Friday, September 26th. Victor considers calling a truce with Jack, a rare moment on the show. In an interesting twist, Kane ends this allegiance, leaving fans wondering which side he really belongs to. Finally, Nikki receives favorable news. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, September 23rd, offer Kyle some life lessons from his girlfriend's mother, while Sally and Audra know they're down but not out. Victoria gives Kyle advice. Kyle, Michael Mueller, has the sats that Claire, Haley Aaron, still isn't over the fact that he kissed Audra, Zuleika Silver, in France. And that he didn't tell her he'd made a deal with her grandpa. And that he totally misread the room and asked Claire to marry him when what she really needed was space. Basically, Kyle's done everything wrong. But he still expects to be forgiven. Because he's rich.
And spoiled.
And really, really entitled. So Victoria, Amelia Heinley, has some truths to lay down on him. Maybe he'll listen. But it would be a new experience for him. Holden has a question for Claire. And while Kyle is pouting, Claire is out there, living her best life. She's being snotty to Audra. While plotting their next move, they'll need to pencil in a Kyle versus Audra clash. Kyle and Audra can't be in the same vicinity without getting their digs in. In the first image, Kyle is pointing fingers at Audra. He probably tells her that there's nothing for her in Genoa City. She might as well leave town. Ex-Claire also gets some FaceTime with her mother. If this happens after Holden invites her to LA, she might turn to Victoria, Amelia Heinley, for some advice. Victoria will probably tell her that going on a trip with Holden, whether it's just as a friend thing or not, is a bad idea. Kyle also clocks some time with Victoria. In fact, the teaser suggests that Victoria gives Kyle unsolicited advice. Here's the thing, however. She can give Kyle advice, but will he listen to her sage words? Because so far, he's not listening to anybody. If he had listened to Jack, Peter Bergman, and Diane Susan Walters, he would never have asked Claire to marry him, and he probably wouldn't have asked her to Paris either. Because that's not what she wants right now. She doesn't want grand gestures. She wants time, space, and the ability to see that Kyle genuinely knows where he went wrong. Billy claims Kane is unstable, but he's the one who's spiraling. On Monday, September 22nd, Billy had a new revenge plot, and he wants to pull Jack into his orbit. But Jack shouldn't agree to work with his brother on the Young and the Restless. Behind Billy's deal. On Monday's episode, Jack, Peter Bergman, told Diane Susan Walters that Victoria, Amelia Heinley, is worried about Billy, Jason Thompson. Guess who walks in the door? Jack's brother. He overheard them speaking about him since he's a hot topic, no thanks to his girlfriend, Sally Courtney Hope, who shared her concerns. Jack could tell Billy had been drinking. He told him to go home, but Billy had a deal for him. He admitted that Diane was right, and he didn't want to fight anymore. Forgive and forget? Billy ditched Jack. He wanted nothing to do with him, so Jack did what he had to do. Pull funding from Abbott Communications. Now, Billy wants Jack's help. He realized that Kane Billy Flynn was the problem, not his family. But it's too late, Billy. He already made his decision when he broke ties and chose to work with Kane. Jack shouldn't help Billy stop Kane. He should let his brother take care of his own messes. Kane's plan is just starting on YNR, but what is it? Another reckless deal. Jack shouldn't help Billy. He should treat his brother the way he treated him, by kicking him out of the house. Billy doesn't want Jack to get involved until he needs him.